What is going on, everybody? I am Tyrone. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you guys who are tuning in. I appreciate those of y'all who have been supporting the content up until this point. Like I said, if you're new, I appreciate you for taking time out of your day to come here and check me out. If you are new to the channel, man, I am all about making you guys become the best versions of yourself, whether that be mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, whatever it is, man. I want to help you guys become the best versions of yourself. This world needs leaders, man. As men, we need leaders. We need people to speak up and help each other out. I do not believe in gatekeepers. I do not believe in people who, keep the sauce to themselves, man. I want to spread it that way that we can live a better life, man, and a more comfortable life. I come from the projects. I come from low income housing. So if I can help people get out of that mentality, that is what I'm all about. So with that being said, man, today I want to talk to you guys about falling in love with becoming the best versions of yourself. Now, when it comes to the process of falling in love with yourself, you have to first recognize where it is that you need to improve. It is hard to set the ego aside, look in the mirror, and tell yourself that you're not happy, and point out the things it is that you need to actually work on. It can be an ego check. It can be a very humbling experience for people, but you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, you have to be honest. You have to take accountability for your life. Nobody is going to do it for you, especially here as a man. Nobody is going to save you. I have developed the mentality that everything is my fault. Now, before you guys, give me any crap about that. When I say everything is my fault, that helps me take accountability for my life. If I'm broke, it's my fault. If I'm fat, it's my fault. If I'm unhappy, it's my fault. These are all things that I can control myself. If I'm looking in the mirror and I am fat, if I am overweight, there's no one but to blame but myself. It doesn't matter what circumstances life has thrown at me. It doesn't matter if I got broken up with, if I had, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? It's always my fault. It doesn't matter the circumstances. You have to take accountability for your actions, or you are always going to stay the same. If you are not getting better, you are getting worse. So with that being said, when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, take accountability. Your first step is going to take accountability, or first step is going to be recognize your problems. Second is going to take accountability. If you cannot do those things, you cannot expect to achieve whatever goals it is that you have set in mind. You have to be willing to do those things. Everything, and I mean everything, is your fault. If you are unhappy with your current circumstances in life, there's no one to blame. Not your mom, not your dad, not nobody, not your girl, not your man. It is your fault. You have to do better. Take accountability. Something that has always helped me, man, is envisioning. I've talked about this before on the channel, but envisioning the person it is that I want to become. Right? Before I became a trainer, I envisioned myself becoming a trainer, and I had to envision, what is this person doing? You know what I'm saying? Where is he at financially? Where is he at when it comes to his physique? Where is he at when it comes to his clientele? How is he maneuvering? What is he doing in order to get to this point in his career? I wrote that stuff down and I followed it religiously. Now at the point where it is that I'm at now within my career, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So now, if I want to get better, I have to think ahead. I have to envision, what kind of person, what kind of man do I want to be a year from now today? And what is that guy doing in order to be there? For me, it's all about saving money. I'm young. I want to be able to buy a house. That is my goal soon. I'm trying to buy a house within the next year or two. What is that person doing? Is he spending money, without just spending money constantly without writing that shit down, without having some sort of budget? No, that person is probably budgeting weekly, you know what I'm saying, saving this amount of money, paying himself religiously every single week in order to get to the point where he is financially stable in order to purchase a home for himself. So these are the kind of things that you have to really think about if you want to succeed. Now, when it comes to, sorry, I got a dry ass mouth. I just ate some almonds. When it comes to falling in love with the best version of yourself, you guys really need to recognize that you cannot skip the grind. You know, there is this whole in-between phase of when you are good at something and when you are great at something. There is no 0 to 100. I've said that on this channel before. There is no 0 to 100. There is this whole in-between phase of self-growth and realization that you have to become familiar with in order to you get rewarded from whatever it is that you want to be rewarded from. So, you know, like if you want to be a barber, if you want to be a successful barber, if you want to be a successful business owner, whatever the case is, there is an in-between phase where you have to stick it through and really grind in order to come out on the other side. And this is the part where everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but it seems like everybody fails. Nobody is willing to sit through that uncomfortable phase of, you know, being judged and feeling like shit and being tired and being broke in order to come out on top of the other side. But the people that do are the people that are rewarded. So, like I said, when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to do the things that are challenging. You have to do the things that make you uncomfortable in order for you to succeed as an individual. I saw this thing, I don't remember where I saw it, and I don't know how accurate the numbers are, but they were talking about, you know, starting a business. Most businesses don't see actual profit, you know what I'm saying, until I think they said 5 to 10 years of running that business. Now, those numbers might be flawed, like I said, or a little bit dramatic, but the idea of it is, you know, for 5 years of you starting a business, running your own business, whether that be a clothing brand, being a trainer, a barber, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to be willing to sit through that in-between phase, you know, for those first 5 years of just putting your money and time and grind and everything into it in order for you to come out on the other side. But if you're not willing to sit through that, then you are not going to get rewarded in the future. Does that make sense to you guys? So with that being said, man, I'm encouraging you guys, you have to be willing to fall in love with becoming the best version of yourself. Fall in love with the grind. There is no skipping the grind. You can't skip it. You guys have heard me talk about on this channel the 10,000 hour rule. I think it's for, again, my numbers might be flawed, but if you want to be a professional at your craft, whatever that is, basketball, football, I always say being a trainer because I'm a trainer, you have to put in 10,000 hours worth of work in order for you to be considered a professional. And I think that's like 10 years or some shit of 5 hour days for 5 days out of the week, something like that. Like I said, those numbers are probably flawed, but you get the idea. If you want to be a professional at what you at your craft, you have to be willing to put in that work. Take accountability for your actions. Everything is your fault. What I mean by that is, if you are looking in the mirror, if you are fat, it is your fault. If you are broke, it is your fault. If you are unhappy, it is your fault. These are all things that we can control. If you're unhappy, it's probably because of your circumstances, whether that being you being out of shape, or whether that be you not being financially stable, or you keep running into the same relationship problems. Whatever it is probably your fault. Now, people can call that judgmental, people can call it, you know, being intense, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I'm a very intense person. I'm a very, I don't know if I would call myself biased, but I guess I would, because I see things kind of not one-dimensional, but there is no gray area for me. You're either putting in the work or you're not, you know what I'm saying? But that is the idea that I have adopted amongst myself, is everything is my fault. And when I have adopted that idea, I have seen such growth, because the world is quite literally in the palm of my hands, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm out of shape, it's my fault. That means I'm not taking care of my health. I'm not eating. I'm not staying disciplined. I'm not doing my cardio. I'm not training hard enough. Those are all things I can control. If I'm broke, that's my fault. I'm spending too much money. I'm not working enough. I'm not trying to go the extra mile of picking up clientele. I'm not working on my online programs. I'm not, whatever the case is. If my YouTube channel isn't growing, I'm not pushing content. I'm not pushing good content. I'm not, trying to promote my YouTube. Whatever the case is, you guys get the fucking idea. God damn it. Everything is your fault. Understand that. Apply that shit. Everything is your fault. And I promise you, your life will get better over time. Stop having such a goddamn victim's mentality. The cards that you were dealt is not up to you. Like, that's fucking unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Not all of us come from money. You guys know my story. I've shared it on this channel before. I don't come from money. I come from the projects. I come from, food stamps and low income housing. But what am I going to do? Fucking stay in that shit? Am I going to put my kids through the same trauma that I had to experience? What kind of sucker ass shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be willing to get out of that. It is not up to you what cards you were dealt, but it goddamn sure is up to you how you play them. And that is a bar. That is a goddamn bar. It is not up to you the cards that you were dealt, but it's up to you how you play them. Write that shit down, tattoo it on your forehead. I don't care what it is, but take accountability for your actions, man. Nobody is coming to save you, especially if you are a man. Nothing against the females, man. I ain't got nothing against females, so don't even try to push that narrative on me. But it's just the case, man. As men, we are supposed to be providers, protectors. You ain't got no money in your account. How the fuck are you going to take care of your family? How are you going to put no food on the table? How are you going to care for your girl? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to get to work? How is somebody supposed to take you serious if you're not working on your craft? Just living off the government, living off food stamps, given there are people that actually need that shit, you know what I'm saying? But take accountability for your actions. It is your goddamn fault. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. There is no in between. And that's what I mean when I say I can be biased, because there is no in between. You are either getting better or you are getting worse. You complain, you stay the same.